going to go with a tall lineup here.
Tall lineup worked for them in Columbia. They were having some struggles, and they went with the two bigs in Kennedy Brown and Camilla Emsbo, the transfer for Yale, and it got them really back in the game and got them a commanding lead.
So Emsbo gets the start. Duke winning the opening tip.
Davidson's got some good size, but maybe not the same physique as a player like Kennedy Brown.
Kennedy Brown with a good extra pass, finding Reagan Richardson. Richardson could not miss in the opening game of the season for the Duke Blue Devils. As you see, the starters for Davidson, Deegan Haynes, Morgan Pryor, and Sutphin. And a long-distance shot right there from Sutphin. It's 3-2.
That's a good sign for the Davidson Wildcats getting out of the gate. They run a offense, a motion offense. It's 5 out. Everybody moves. They shoot and pass. Duke defense is going to have to be able to be on their A game tonight.
It's going to be Brown, Emsbo, Richardson, Mayer, and Jackson, the starting lineup. The first change this season in the starting lineup for Kara Lawson, who made that routine last year. So not a big shock that she's mixing it up pretty early.
Yeah, and it's very clear she's trying to get that ball in down low, use their height and their size and their stature advantage against the Wildcats.
Richardson. Good pass, Brown. That's easy.
That's a great execution on the screen and roll, and poor defense by the Wildcats. Coach Gail Folks really talking to her team in the shoot-around today about how ball screens were going to be defended. Nice transition by Duke.
Brown is an automatic write-in that starting lineup that we said Coach Lawson likes to mess around with every once in a while. Brown has started every game last year and every game this year.
Kennedy Brown, she's also a great passer, but she's great on the finish, and that's a nice dish off that screen and roll for the easy finish. Davidson's going to have to figure a way how to guard ball screen action.
It's the 7th assist of the season already for Brown. Shot from Davidson, all air, and it'll come back to Duke.
Lets Davidson get into their press. Makes her learn a little run and jump. Just slowing Duke down a little bit right now, giving him less time in the half court. Switching that high screen, switching on to Kennedy Brown. A little bit of a mismatch down low right now as she's being guarded by Izzy Morgan, who's only 5'10". There's the drive to the basket by Ashlyn Jackson.
Jackson, soft touch with the left. 3-point lead for Duke.
Duke with a little switching of their own on the high screen. Davidson trying to get it down low against Mayer. Nice basket drive by Susie Rose Deegan. They call her Rosie. Another Australian, the redshirt senior, 5th year for Davidson.
She's from Perth, Australia. Mayer has her shot blocked at the bucket. Davidson going the other way.
Both teams like the transition game. It'll be interesting to see tonight who can control tempo. The little floater just doesn't go in, but the offensive rebound, which was a problem for Duke. And there's Rosie Deegan from downtown for 3. You look at Rosie Deegan's shot, it may look a little unorthodox, and we learned that she is blind in her left eye, so she has to pull it over to her left so she can see out of her right. Nonetheless, knocking it down.
Yeah, Coach Fawkes could not say enough good things about her, including overcoming the fact that she only has one eye. It was determined right around when she was 13, definitively, that she had no vision in that other eye. It's 8-6 Davidson. Brown got her hands in there. Richardson with the push. Richardson blocked again and off of Richardson. That is a perfect defensive play.
Sutphin dribbles into that double team, but it's Millie Pryor with the defensive stop, the team's top defender. Get to watch the kick out here, and Rosie Deegan, you see how she pulls it over to the left side of her face, but it's money in the bank right there.
Coach Lawson going to her bench early here is Delaney Thomas, the freshman from Charlestown, West Virginia, is coming to the game. She wears number 12. Man-to-man defense.
Duke, one of the top defenses in the country last season. We're going to have a hand check right there. Ball stays with Davidson.
I think, Debbie Taylor, we need to remind everybody that before that Columbia game, a tremendous crowd here for Duke playing Team USA. And I'm talking Team USA. The Stars were here, and it definitely made a difference.
Coach Lawson talking about what an amazing opportunity. That's a life moment for your players and your team to be able to fit that game in and play it. And Duke's got to play 4 games in 8 days right now, starting with that one. But she wouldn't have given that up for the world because it was a wonderful chance for her team to play against the best women's basketball team in the world.
Yeah, you said it. She said she would do it all over again. Davidson knocking off Wake Forest, where Coach Hawks actually spent several years as an assistant coach. And they very much felt like they should have beaten North Carolina. That's what she told us today.
She's got the ACC triumvirate for her game 2, 3, and 4, and they hadn't beaten Wake Forest since 1998, and then that tight game with UNC. So they're playing with a lot of confidence right now. Duke done a great job defending the handoff. It's a shot clock, winds down. Rosie Deegan with another one, doesn't even touch the rim. And that's what Duke does to you, Dean. They wear you down with their defense, and they force you to take contested shots.
Davidson 8, Duke 6. That was Donovan picking up Mayer pretty much full court.
You see the continuous switching by Davidson out of that horn set, but an offensive board by Duke. Davidson's going to have to figure out a way to limit Duke on the offensive glass, stay between them and the rim. That was a big focus for Coach Fulks coming into this game.
There's Thomas defensively. Thomas missed that 8-footer. Driving to the basket, up and in. A perfect finish there by Rosie Deegan.
And you see how tough Rosie Deegan was. She was the first draft pick in Australian rules football league. I mean, she's just done it all. She's a surfer. She's a cross-country runner. She's just a tough, competitive player with a very free spirit.
Thomas. Brown with the handoff and a travel, an extra step there from Okananwa. Davidson, they mean business as they set up their early season schedule against ACC teams, and they're not scared. They lead it 10-6. Early doors here in Durham.
Wanted to test them early, and with that great win over Wake Forest and a tightly, close game against UNC, they could have had that one, but they've got multiple scorers. They've got great balance on their team. You can see against UNC, they had 4 players in double figures, knocking down threes, knocking down 10 threes, and if they can get on a roll from behind the arc, that spells trouble for their opponent.
Over the back as a great box out. They'll call that on Charlie Dunn. Full name Charlize, goes by Charlie.
Kennedy Brown's going to be a big piece of this game. Her size, she's the biggest player on the floor. She's going to have to rebound. She's going to have to box out, but she's going to have to stay out of foul trouble. Duke needs her on the floor.
Donovan has checked into the game. Jaden Donovan, a freshman from Upper Marlboro, Maryland. Brown with another good pass to Jackson. Jackson up top to Mayer. Brown posting up. Good backside help. Coming over is Deegan.
You can see Rosie Deegan. They call her she's the Swiss Army knife, right? She's everywhere, coming from the backside, pulling that steal. Great defense by Davidson.
10-6. Duke with a couple turnovers. And now Davidson with a couple turnovers.
And that's great pressure by Kennedy Brown and by the Duke defense, just denying the next pass. It's what they do so well. They make it hard for you to move the ball. They're really tough on the ball, and they make it really hard for you to get a shot off.
Okananwa is also out there for Coach Kara Lawson, and that just went right off the sneaker of Jackson.
Duke's a young team this season. 7 freshmen and sophomores. Number 6 freshman class in the country. 4 freshmen. You can see more pressure causing that deflection.
Looked like one extra step there. They say no. They're leaner up and in, and you can feel the emotion right there as Maddie Plank, the transfer from Princeton, with an and one.
She's no stranger to success. She played 2 years at Princeton, played on that NCAA tournament team in 22. She knows how to win, and you see this great drive, just banking it off the glass, drawing the foul, and she'll go to the free throw line to extend this Davidson lead to 7.
Duke has not scored a bucket in the last 4 minutes and 53 seconds. The and one is complete, and it's a 7-point lead.
Davidson's a really good free throw shooting team. They're shooting 80% on the season.
It's a 10-0 run for Davidson. Duke trying to stop that. They are 0 for their last 5 from the field, Duke is.
Get a credit to Davidson defense. They say they want to stifle on the defensive end.
Tough shot. Did not hit the rim, so the shot clock is at 7. I think they know that. They do. Mayer for 3. Back of the rim. Good hustle. Okananwa. She dribbles into trouble. Coach Folks, 7th season at Davidson. 21-22 season, 18 wins, most since 2012. Former assistant coach at Wake Forest.
Really excited to be coaching this team. Probably the best team she's had in her tenure at Davidson. An errant pass right there, a little off balance. Duke getting the ball back, getting the break they need, and the block shot right there by Millie Pryor. Davidson's got some great size. Millie Pryor 6'2", Ellie Sutphin 6'2". Izzy Morgan's 5'10", Rosie Deegan's 5'10", Maddie Plank's 5'11", Charlie Dunn 6'2".
Mayer, they needed that bad.
We talked about her in the open, her ability to score and lead this team. That was a big-time bucket by T. Mayer.
Cuts the lead to 4 and ends a scoring drought that was well over 5 minutes. Back of the rim. Donovan will give it up as this is Morgan. Morgan from Sydney, Australia.
See this Davidson motion offense, a high ball screen. Everybody's in continuous motion. They are playmakers, not play runners. They know how to read their defense.
Okananwa with big-time D, forcing the turnover.
No one guarding the inbounder, the most deadly person on the floor when you're running out of bounds play, and Mayer steps in and gets to that much-needed three-point bucket.
Pretty sure Davidson had a pretty good men's basketball player that could make that shot with his eyes closed.
Steph Curry, who graduated from Davidson 2 years ago, which was a pretty cool thing. He's a big supporter of both the men's and women's program at Davidson. Big supporter of women's athletics.
Yeah, he can now officially have his jersey retired. Actually had the honor of calling the game when they named Section 30 after him when he didn't have his degree. And Davidson, they were serious. They're like, until you get your degree, you get a section, but you don't get your jersey retired. I think he's good now. Mayer.
Davidson doing a nice job on that ball screen defense. And we knew this game was going to be physical, and Coach Folks coming in saying we're going to have to match their physicality. And right now, Davidson doing a nice job.
So we got a timeout.
Little battle under the boards right there. It's a little hook. See the nature of this game. It's going to be physical under the glass. And you can see on the block just the battle, and you see the Davidson player just rapping and just the battle going to the ground. Official on top of it with the call.
Izzy Morgan for Davidson. Delaney Thomas for Duke, the two players involved. The original call was on Davidson, and that's how I saw it as well.
Yeah, I think is.
So Duke in the middle of a really ambitious schedule, including that USA game that they already had, and then went up to Columbia, gladly got out of there with the win, and then they've got just a trip to California.
I mean, no biggie, a trip to Maples Pavilion. It's not only a cross-country flight is wearing in itself, but they're playing 4 games in 8 days with a team, again, who has 7 freshmen and sophomores. 4 of those freshmen, and playing on the road for freshmen is, that's a learned behavior. You have to learn how to play when the crowd is against you and when things don't go your way. So a big challenge for Duke early in the season.
It's kind of neat that Coach Lawson had Stanford on the schedule even before it was announced that Stanford is joining the ACC. That'll really help, as you mentioned, how young this Duke team. Exactly what you just said, Debbie. It'll help these youngsters get used to that.
Well, and on the road in the ACC is never friendly, so you got to get used to it early. During non-conference play is just an opportunity to expose your team to different things, and Coach Lawson is certainly doing that with her young squad.
They took a long look at what I'll call a little tussle underneath, as Thomas battling for position with Morgan.
Clearly, they didn't think it was a little tussle. They're giving it some extra thought right now. Officials going over, talking to Coach Lawson.
Call stands. Shot clock will be at 20, and that means the foul will go to the junior from Sydney, Izzy Morgan. Thomas stays out there with Mayer. Cable has come on. Brown stays in. Here's Cable. Cable a little leaner up and in.
Emma Cable from Ontario, the sophomore, did not play a lot last year, played in 4 games, averaged 6 minutes a game, but came in the other night about Coastal Carolina, knocking down a bunch of threes and getting some more minutes this season. Nice job creating some space with her dribble.
Shot clock approaching 10, forced pass. Good hustle to keep it alive. Mayer thought she got all ball. Referee says no, foul on number 22.
It wasn't pretty, but that's going to send junior Izzy Morgan to the free throw line. Just a little back and forth under the basket. A little deflection here and there, and they're saying that Mayer got her on the arm. Mayer didn't like that call. Sending Davidson to the free throw line is just not something you want to do frequently in a game. We asked Coach Folks about coming into Duke and playing in Cameron and playing against Duke. And she talked about her team's experience, international experience, and how that equated to this isn't as big of a deal to them perhaps as it might be to someone else.
Yeah, 3 of her players winning a silver medal in the U19 World Championships in Hungary just last year. That's a big deal.
The international stage is a little bit different than Cameron.
And that is going to do it for the first quarter. Duke, 2 of their last 12 from the floor.
Atlantic 10 Rookie of the Year as a freshman and first-team All-Atlantic 10 in her premier season in the United States. She's a tough, talented player.
Jackson, Okananwa drives, and it's swatted away there by Dunn.
Well, and that's Charlie Dunn, the sophomore, the transfer from Virginia Tech, another Aussie and another block for Davidson. She's got a great wingspan. She currently leads Davidson in both scoring and rebounding, comes off the bench. Coach Folks telling us, able to learn the system, assess the game, and come in and make a big impact.
Jackson with the shot clock running out. Thomas with a big rebound. Cable, yes. Cable's got 5 already.
Offensive rebounds turn into long-range threes, and the offensive glass is something Davidson is going to have to get under control if they want to get out of here with a win.
Duke is actually known for blocking a lot of shots, but Davidson's got 4 blocks already. Let's see if Duke can get a block on this defensive sequence. Go out of bounds off of Davidson and stay with the Wildcats.
These offensive rebounds for the Blue Devils are starting to pile up, and it's great hustle. And what does that do? It sets up a 3-point shot for Cable, who's been so accurate from behind the arc early in the season. Big bucket for Duke.
Duke has more offensive rebounds than they do defensive rebounds. 6. They've got 10 total, and it's going to be a backcourt violation. That's good defense.
Yeah, and coming out of that break at the quarter, Duke has really cranked up their defensive pressure. Davidson having enough time. Duke switching on the handoff, switching on the screens. Davidson really not able to get a good look at the bucket.
Ashlyn Jackson, sophomore from Texas. Okananwa. Cable. Okananwa has had a lot of trouble. I mean, she's had one thought, that is to drive to the basket, but the basketball's not always been with her there, Debbie.
Good pressure by Davidson. I mean, both teams right now defensively, as we see Duke with their extended pressure. See what Davidson's able to do in the full court against Duke's press.
Sutphin.
Here we go, the versatility of Ellie Sutphin. I'll break the press, I'll bring it up.
Yep, no problem.
Davidson's got a lot of players that can all shoot it. Obviously, another long-range shot. They can all handle it. They can all pass it. It's perfect in their system as we see Charlie Dunn drain a 3. She had 21 against UNC off the bench.
4-point lead. Too strong from Jackson. Rebounded by Dunn.
Charlie Dunn is just a great addition to this already talented and experienced Davidson squad. She's the 9th ranked player in the world outside the U.S. coming out of high school. Chose to get a tech and then transferred in here last season, really giving the Wildcats a punch. And here she goes. She's going to work on Ashlyn Jackson.
Well, she leads the team in scoring, but Coach Gail Falk's telling us that it's a common theme for her that she'll often have her leading scorer start on the bench to kind of get a look, and they'll have a little talk, and in they go, and they produce.
Well, she's a new player in this system, and this system takes a little while to learn, so Coach Folks just gives her an opportunity to see it. But that's a turnover by Duke. You get to see Charlie right now, 3-pointer, long-range shot, beautiful touch on that. And then here she goes, working one-on-one, little pull-back crossover, and knocks down the pull-up shot. And she's 6'2". She made that look easy, and only a sophomore.
You know, it's interesting, Gail Falks, when you asked her what's her biggest concern, she's like, I'm concerned about Duke's size and athleticism. And really, it's Davidson looking like they've got the size and athleticism. That's an athletic move right there, too, the bucket.
Just turn in the corner on the handoff. Izzy Morgan, she's their leader. She's their calming force. Again, we talked about it. They played on that silver medal team in the Australian, the national championships, the world championships. Nice pass under the basket.
It's going to end a 7-0 run.
Great pass to Emsbo for the easy bucket.
Already in this game, Davidson's had a 10-0 run and a 7-0 run, and they lead it by 6. Trouble underneath.
We get a call for 3 seconds. Good defense by Duke. Millie Pryor puts it on the floor, picks up her dribble. A little high ball screen action and rolling off the screen, and Duke continuing to use that ball screen action to beat Davidson on the rim. Davidson's going to have to make a little bit of an adjustment.
Emsbo gets the bucket and then comes back down defensively and locks it down, forcing the turnover in the 3-second violation. turned over, kind of forced it. And a foul from behind on Cable as Cable reaches in on Sutphin.
You can see the versatility of the Davidson team and their ability to switch all 5 positions if need be. That time, a lot of switching, and Sutphin in the right place at the right time comes up with the steal, sends her to the free throw line. She led the Atlantic 10 last season in free throw percentage. She shot 88.3% from the line.
It's a smooth-looking stroke. Lead is 8 again. Davidson has been pretty consistent with pretty much picking up the point guard full court. I mean, not heavy pressure, but there's Morgan keeping an eye on Mayer. And we've got an offensive foul down low.
That's the freshman Jaden Donovan trying to barrel through on that cross lane cut. Great position by Izzy Morgan. Donovan just like pummels her. Officials all over it. And that's the learning curve for freshmen. Division I basketball at this level is such a different game than high school, and they just grow and learn with every game, and that's what non-conference play is all about for them.
5:35 remaining. Deegan gonna go to the hoop. Blocked by Cable. She did step out of bounds, but good defense from Cable. We know she can score. If she continues to play D like that, Debbie Taylor, she's going to stay out there.
No, and Rosie Deegan went at her, and she did a really nice job. If you want to play for Carol Lawson, you better be able to defend. We said last year, one of the top defenses in the country, held teams to 51 points a game on average.
Another 3 and another perfect shot there from Sutphin.
You see Sutphin's ability to step out, knock it down, play under the basket, get it into the paint, kick it out to a wide-open three-point shooter.
She's got 8 to lead all players, Sutphin.
Wildcats 4 for 8 from behind the arc right there, and there's an errant pass, and Sutphin comes up with it.
Sutphin probably could have had the layup, unselfish. And a rebound by Mayer. Sutphin with the foul.
And those are the kind of fouls that Ellie Sutphin, as a redshirt senior, should know better. Davidson Wildcats starting to heat up from behind the arc. There's the kick out, and right now Davidson's in Durham up by 11.
Right now they're facing an 11-point deficit. Part of the deal is they had 3 turnovers in the last 143, 5 turnovers in the last 430. Driving to the bucket. Brown with the rebound. Brown has got to finish that. 2 kind of bunnies right there that Duke misses.
Right now, the Davidson defense is holding Duke to 32% shooting and 16 points.
And a good defense coming from the Duke Blue Devils as it's ripped away there by Okananwa, and she's fouled.
Duke has done a great job this season forcing teams into turnovers. They forced 30 turnovers with Coastal Carolina. They forced 21 turnovers in the game at Columbia. Right now, Davidson's done a nice job taking care of the ball. That's their 7th turnover of the first half. It's going to be key down the stretch as we see a nice drive to the rim and the foul.
Good to see the emotion there as well from Jackson.
Ashlyn Jackson comes back, returns for Duke this year. She's a great athlete, and she takes that ball one-on-one to the basket, gets around the corner, finishes high off the glass, and scores on Millie Pryor. Millie Pryor, Davidson's best defender. Nice take by Jackson. Jackson had 25 points against Coastal Carolina. It was just an explosive game for her.
Richardson, Jackson, and then Mayer, the leading scorers in the first 3 games as Duke starts the season 3-0, but has a tough one on their hands right here. Davidson.
Nice high hedge by Kennedy Brown on that. And she gets back, well defended screen.
Little slip, and that'll free up number 21, Dunn.
Wow, Charlie Dunn is impressive.
She's got 8. Sutphin's got 8. Mayer creates her own space there. That's a smooth-looking shot, Debbie.
That's another shot against Millie Pryor. That's a beautiful step back by Mayer. Duke right now creating some of their own opportunities to score.
The two bigs back out there for Duke. As Emsbo started the game with Brown. Didn't last long, but now they're back out there again, driving to the hoop. And before Emsbo can help Mayer, it's finished at the rim by Dunn.
Dunn just finds a little room on the baseline, crosses over, and finishes it at the rim. That was beautiful.
Brown starting to get a little frustrated. Emsbo takes advantage.
The Blue Devils are just getting the ball in the middle of the floor and attacking Davidson one-on-one. When you're in the middle, there's no help defense, and it's been really effective for Duke on the last 3 possessions.
You can see Coach Lawson calling for a stop here. They won't get it as they give up a 3. Morgan hits it, and Morgan's got 7.
And you cannot go under a screen against Davidson. They can all shoot the 3. Izzy Morgan got her feet set, had plenty of room to launch that one.
Brown rolls left hand. Not falling for Brown. She's 1 for 4 from the floor.
She really has the advantage down low, and Duke needs her to be effective around the rim tonight.
Davidson, 3 for their last 3, have pushed the lead back to 11, and this is the biggest lead of the game.
Davidson with some handoffs and ball screens of their own, and that's Ellie Sutphin with the beautiful kiss off the glass.
Nice response coming from Emsbo, who's got 6.
Nice job by Duke getting the ball down quickly in transition after that made basket.
Coach Falks talking about making shots. Duke needs to make some stops here.
Duke defense is usually just so tough, makes it really difficult for opponents, but Davidson's been having their way. Nice job by Emsbo making that shot difficult. Millie Pryor kind of got herself into a little situation there.
Pushed a little bit hard, but Jackson's going to go to the line. Emsbo's had a solid shift here.
She started the game. She gives them some good extra size. The transfer from Yale, she's 6'5", biggest player on the floor right now. Kennedy Brown at 6'3". She's a first-team All-Ivy League performer, scored 1,000 points in 3 years at Yale. She was injured last season, sat out, transferred into Duke for this year. Let's give them a nice extra size that they need. She's having a strong game.
Jackson and Emsbo with 6. Jackson now with 7 to lead Duke. Cable's going to come back in for Brown.
Duke going to go with a little bit of a smaller lineup here. Extend their press.
Just over a minute remaining here in the first half. 36-27.
A little zoom action for Davidson. Continuous switching up, got back, long range, no good, contested outside shot. That's what Duke wants, and here come the Blue Devils.
A rare miss for Davidson. Mayer, extra pass. Cable took an extra step with that fake. That's 9 turnovers now for the Duke Blue Devils. 7 for Davidson. Duke does have 2 blocks, but they came into this game with 8, which is 3rd in the nation, averaging 8 blocks per game.
Duke's been a defensive machine, but Davidson really, they share the ball so well and they choose their shots so well. A little fake handoff. Rosie Deegan back in the scoring column. Lovely execution right there.
38-27. Davidson shooting 54%, 56% from 3. Duke, meanwhile, shooting 38%, 33% from three. Duke off the back end of the rim. Still time here for Davidson to get a shot off. Denied there by Jackson. Jackson can get a shot off. Oh! That would have been huge. In and out. And you see Coach Falk's.
Great.
Yeah, we can't remember the last time where at the half a team had more steals and more blocks. Davidson has done that as the second half is underway. Davidson back out there in the dark uniforms. Duke, of course, in their home whites.
And less turnovers than the Blue Devils. Duke's so proficient at turning teams over.
Shot clock winding down. They'll have to force a three. And Brown can't get the rebound. She had the box out, but tremendous effort by Davidson as Pryor goes and gets it.
Millie Pryor, she's 6'2", she's a junior. She was injured last season, and she's a big piece of their chemistry and their successes. There she goes, driving it to the rim, but there's Kennedy Brown with that 6'3" frame, blocking the shot, and it sets up transition for Duke, and Mayer with the easy lay-in. And this is what Davidson did not allow Duke to do in the first half. They didn't let him get out in transition. That's a good sign for Duke.
First bucket of the second half coming to Duke after giving Davidson not one but two offensive sets. That is huge.
Well, we said Duke's a young team, and they had an opportunity to go into the locker room at half, and let's see how they respond as Rosie Deegan powers her way to the hole. Duke giving up the baseline, and she draws the foul, and she's going to the free throw line.
Yeah, you said it. Give it up the baseline. Here it goes.
A little shot fake, and she draws the contact. You can just see how strong she is. She's fired up. Puts her at 11 points on the game. Right now, the leading scorer, make it 12. Davidson perfect from the free throw line in this one.
It's the second foul on Reagan Richardson. Mayer is fouled. Little hand check coming from Morgan.
Morgan getting called on that one. She's averaging almost 9 points a game. You know, 5 players on this Davidson team average over 8 points a game. Good balanced scoring. Just like Duke, can be anyone on any given night. Little handoff there for Reagan Richardson. She takes it to the rim but can't convert. Deegan with the rebound, and here come the Wildcats.
Tough shot for Richardson. I think Coach Lawson's going to want a little better shot.
Davidson defense has been good tonight. They're making things really difficult for Duke. Duke has not been able to find a rhythm. That's a forced shot right there by Ellie Sutphin, but the Wildcats come back up with the rebound.
It's another second chance opportunity. Last time Duke survived it. Shot clock down to 5. Dribble almost got away. And there's Brown with the rebound.
And that was really nice on-ball defense there by Reagan Richardson, making it really tough for Izzy Morgan.
Mayer, great pass back to Brown, extra pass. As the two bigs start the second half again, and Emsbo finishes.
That's little Duke basketball transition, share the ball, easy bucket.
42-31. Coach Lawson in a defensive stance, actually bent over, ready to get in there. That's good defense from Brown. Took a little contact, forced a bad pass.
Here's the Blue Devils with some nice sharing of the ball. Nice little touch pass, big to big. Emsbo with the finish, and the Blue Devils starting to get back on track a little bit here, forcing a Davidson turnover, doing what they do best, getting out in transition.
Emsbo's got 8. She flashes, doesn't get it. They go to Brown. Brown.
Rosie Deegan down there defending the post.
There's Emsbo, and she's going to go to the line as she is fouled by Sutphin. Blue
Devils can play variety of lineups. This is their big lineup. They went to this in the Columbia game, and it got them back in the game with both Brown and Emsbo out on the court at the same time. Neither team has missed a free throw tonight, Dean.
Yep, getting it done. Davidson 6 for 6. Duke also perfect. They've cut the lead to 9. And if you're Kara Lawson, you like what you've seen so far.
You went in halftime and you talked to your team about cranking up the defense and crashing the boards. Kennedy Brown has really done a nice job with the ball screens as Sutphin gets free, though, and finds her way to the rim, and she's just got quickness on the perimeter.
Yeah, it was just as Brown was stepping up, she felt Brown's body, spun, and the lane was hers.
Another Blue Devil turnover, just uncharacteristic for them. They just can't get in a rhythm. Deegan's open from the 3, can't knock it down.
Good job by Mayer to then shield Deegan.
You see little Ellie Sutphin goes one way, comes back for that handoff, and that's just an easy finish for her. She's got 12 right now on the night, 4 for 6 shooting for Sutphin.
So Brown's going to go to the bench. Mayer. Richardson, back of the rim. It's going to go off of Davidson. Duke will have another chance.
Izzy Morgan just could not hang on to it. Duke's just not getting the shots that they normally get, not getting the comfortable shots that they're used to. Just can't get their rhythm and their cadence down yet. Nice high-low look for Emsbo. Rims around and comes up. A nice execution right there, and here come the Wildcats.
That roller around the rim is kind of the story of this game for Duke. Davidson, extremely efficient. Good D from Emsbo. Stepping out for a 3 and a corner 3. Wow, just a really pretty shot from Sutphin.
Sutphin tried to work down low, go one-on-one, wasn't effective, so she said, oh, well, I'll step out to the perimeter, and they found her, and they gave it to her, and that's the 7th 3 of the night for Davidson. They're shooting 50% from behind the arc.
Sutphin on her own, 5 for 7 and 3 for 4 from deep.
She did it at Carolina the other night, and she's doing it again.
So off that turnover, we're going to have a timeout. Ellie Sutphin, you said it best. She was down low earlier, then stepped out, makes the 3. She leads all players with 15. Davidson up big. Welcome back to Cameron Indoor, where Davidson has a 14-point lead after the 11th turnover for Duke. Duke has not scored in almost 3 minutes. This after having a 6-3 lead. That's a great backdoor cut. Unlucky at the glass there from Sutphin.
Little screen re-screen action out of the timeout. Sutphin just unable to convert. Dean, the score of this game last year in Belk Arena at Davidson was 60-37. So we see Duke add another 2. Duke's won 5 in a row in this matchup. But the tables have turned a little bit tonight.
The last time Duke lost to Davidson was in 1978, 62-61 in Charlotte at the Johnston Gym. Rebound backside. You cannot give Davidson so many second chance opportunities.
Davidson's just bringing the effort right now. They're playing hard. They're playing harder than Duke.
Air ball. Duke will take it.
And they're getting the shots they want against this typically stellar Duke defense. Here comes Duke in transition.
Brown needs one. She misses. It's been a rough go for Brown. 1 for 5 from the floor.
And if your shots aren't falling, you got to try to create some offense with your defense or really crash the glass. And Brown needs to get it going.
Let's see if Brown instead posting up down there was Donovan. Jaden Donovan, the 6-foot freshman.
Little reach in there by Izzy Morgan, the junior. All these Davidson players, they defend the perimeter, they defend the paint. A lot of versatility in their lineup.
It's worth mentioning Sutphin with those 15 points. Her primary cover has been Brown, so she's doing it on both ends. Good rebound underneath, up and in. And the crowd likes it. Donovan with the and one.
There's the freshman. She's been quiet most of the game, but she was the 3rd-ranked recruit in her class, highest recruit ever, highest-ranked recruit for Kara Lawson. She's had a great start to the season, just really struggling tonight against this Davidson defense, but you see her athleticism and her ability to get up, and what a great rebounder and shot blocker she is.
Misses the and one, so the lead stays at 10. Duke outscored 15-11 in the first, 24-16 in the second. They actually now have scored more than Davidson in the third. They have a 10-8 advantage.
Well, the Duke defense is really starting to pick up their intensity, and they're in the passing lanes. They're getting deflections. They're making shots more difficult. This is the Duke defense we're used to seeing.
Shot clock at 15. Deegan, a little behind the back. Good defense from Mayer. Mayer swipes at it, rips it, still loose, forced. And it'll be a shot clock violation. Big time D from Duke.
That's what we're used to seeing from the Blue Devils, forcing teams late in the shot clock, contested jump shots, timeout Davidson.
So Gail Fawkes wants to talk it over as Kara Lawson's team has cut the lead to 10.
We pick up the phone because it's ringing. I should.
Best decision, but she's just trying to help her team score.
So off of the Davidson timeout, Duke with a chance to cut the lead to less than double figures for the first time in quite some time, as Davidson has not scored in almost 3 minutes. Richardson, good pass. Perfect pass, and a finish by Donovan.
Duke offense is starting to come to life, and so is the freshman Jaden Donovan. Beautiful dish for that easy lay-in.
Wonderful vision from Richardson.
And you can see Duke's really picking up the ball pressure, which has changed the cadence of the Davidson offense. They're having difficulty making the next pass, which seemed so much easier in the second quarter.
Shot clock down to 5. Brown's got to get through that screen. Mayer, I thought Mayer had position, but she was too low.
There's Duke sharing the basketball of their own. Reagan Richardson with the drive and the beautiful dish pass to the freshman Donovan for the easy lay-in. Nice team basketball right there. Nice cut to the basket by Donovan.
Great work by our crew, as always. Chad Lampman producing. Caleb Waters, Austin Edwards on replay. We'll get more of the crew later. Right now it's 47-39, Duke.
Duke's on a 6-0 run right now.
Yeah, trying to get 3 stops in a row.
Davidson's just a little out of sync. Pressure really bothering them. Late in the shot clock, possession after possession, but Deegan off the glass.
Late night bank hours. Wow. That one will hurt a little bit. 50-39. Debbie, that's just a throw it up and pray, and it went in.
Duke defense was really good, like doing a great job. Rosie Deegan makes the 8th three of the night for Davidson for her 15th point.
A tremendous rebound from Donovan, just ripping it out of the air. Donovan plays so much bigger, but check out this last three from Davidson.
Shot clock's winding down, and we said she can't see out of her left eye, so she pulls the ball to the left side of her face, and look at that smile. She loves it.
Tomorrow, you'll have no idea that three went in that way.
Sometimes you just need a little luck.
Brown hustles over. Brown needs to go strong. Fouled, backside. Well done by Richardson.
Reagan Richardson, she had a career-high 28 in the opener against Richmond. Junior, they need her down the stretch in this one.
She just had that great pass. Now that tremendous backside rebound. This third period has gone by rapid fire. Rebound backside again. Duke gonna run the other way. 16 seconds. Time for a good shot. Ooh, breaking some ankles and a finish right there. Tremendous work. Okananwa breaking ankles. The lead is 7. Oh, I think it was too late. Oh, they're gonna check it. Are they counting that? I thought it was after the buzzer.
Team Coach Carol Lawson hangs her hat on it, and Davidson, one of their last 7 shots in the third quarter. There's a deflection right there to start the fourth.
Yeah, here we go. Final quarter. Rebound. Duke going the other way. Duke is pushing it. Okananwa underneath the bucket. Blocked. That was sent right back by Pryor.
Davidson cannot let Duke to heat their transition game up.
Pryor's then fouled by Richardson.
How about this block right here? Millie Pryor. Coach Folks talked about what a great defender she is, what great feet she has. She's a Fordham transfer. Her dad played pro soccer in the Premier League in Australia. Great block right there.
Five blocks in the game.
Wildcats are 8 for 8 from the free throw line.
It's a 9-point lead. 9 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the game. Davidson, 2-1 on the season. They only lost a 4-point loss to North Carolina. Donovan, I'm telling you, Donovan's playing like she's 6'5".
Little isolation for the freshman. This is where Duke's been effective when they've gotten the ball into the middle of the floor and gone one-on-one. Great play by the freshman.
There's Donovan again, tying it up. And that's going to be Duke basketball.
She is certainly a competitor. You can see why Donovan, she gets it done on the offensive end, she gets it done on the glass, and there she is with the tie-up on the defensive end. She is just an elite athlete. She's on the ACC newcomer watch list. She's on the ESPN Top Impact Freshman watch list, and we're getting a good opportunity to see why.
52-45, a chance to cut it to 5 or even 4, leaning into it. Donovan, that was a brick. The other way, here comes Davidson. A little pump fake. And then wide open. That's too easy right there as Dunn hits the 3.
It's just a beautiful cross-court pass. Charlie Dunn been quiet for a while. Davidson, is that their 10th three of the game? Wow.
Another turnover picked off by Dunn. Duke made that great run, and
Duke needs to do a better job taking care of the ball down the stretch. They can ill afford to have empty possessions. Little foul on the floor right there. It's like a hamstring situation here with Izzy Morgan. Nice drive and kick. Beautiful spot up by Charlie Dunn. And the Davidson bench is on their feet. They can feel it. They can taste it.
How about the fire in the eyes there of Gail Fawkes, the head coach of Davidson.
7 years she's been working to have a team of this caliber. She's had some good teams. She had some really unfortunate injuries situation last year. A little spin move by Rosie Deegan. She goes one-on-one against a smaller defender in Mayer, and she's able to convert and extend this lead to 12.
Deegan with 17. 7 of 15, 2 for 5. She's got 3 rebounds as well. And like you said, Debbie Taylor, what a spin move. Brown has got to come to the ball, doesn't. There's a lesson to be learned on that play right there.
Well, and you see why Davidson can switch, because when you switch and Rosie Deegan ends up on Kennedy Brown, that's 5'10" against 6'3", but Rosie Deegan's so strong. She gets her feet, she gets around, and she comes up with the steal. And this is where Duke is going to pick up in full court, and they really need to start cranking up the defense because Davidson is getting back in their rhythm.
57-45. Davidson has answered every punch Duke has thrown here. Eight seconds remaining. Brown needs to step up with a big play. She does. Duke.
Nice defense by Kennedy Brown. Here comes Duke.
Brown gets position. All right, so there's Kennedy Brown right there. That's the kind of effort. She's got the size. They need that from her late.
Yeah, you definitely need to see a little more of that. Just that's great position in transition. She gets a big chunk of the paint, buries her defender in the middle. I mean, she's just a nice big target. A little bit of a hook right there she got away with, but able to draw the foul.
Just a little bit of a hook, Debbie. Richardson will go to the line and shoot 2.
Reagan Richardson's just so explosive off those handoffs. She's able to turn the corner with a quick first step. Now these free throws are going to become crucial down the stretch. Both teams shooting well from the line tonight. Duke 5 for 6. Davidson hasn't missed yet at 8 for 8.
Short break for Jayden Donovan. And I'm not surprised because Donovan's effort, particularly in the second half, has been noticeable.
She's an energizer for them. And, you know, you might as well let her get her minutes now. Let her play through it.
Okananwa is going to come on for Ashlyn Jackson.
Duke was tested at Columbia the other night, and down the stretch when Columbia charged back, they pulled away. And it was Ashlyn Jackson down the stretch who scored 4 of their last 6 points. And here's the Duke press and an errant pass and a turnover.
Richardson, little fake. Mayer. Leaner. Richardson can't connect.
I think Duke would like to get in their press a little bit more, but in order to do that, the ball's got to go in the basket.
Duke approaching 3 minutes without a field goal. Denied. Donovan having an unbelievable second half. Okananwa off the contact, doesn't get the whistle. Rebound. They'll say jump ball.
It's great defense right here. Look at that. Look at the length. Another block shot. Jayden Donovan. The Duke guards are so long and athletic.
Yeah, Jayden Donovan is playing out of her mind.
Well, 6 points, 4 rebounds, but you can just see how she can affect the game in so many ways. She's going to play the front of the press. She's going to come over on the trap, and that's what you want to do. Get that ball to the middle. Get it across half court.
The lead is 10. Approaching 5.5 remaining. Okananwa got a touch to it, and then Brown gets it back to her. Brown trying to post up again. Really good drop by Dunn to help. Now Brown. And she took one too many steps.
Tell you what, Millie Pryor at 6'2", and I think that's generous, the junior. I mean, she's doing a fantastic job just making things difficult. Kennedy Brown staying between her and the basket, which is exactly what Coach Folk said she wanted to do. Make them play over the top of us. She had a game plan. She was very thorough about it in shoot-around. This is a really cerebral team. She talks to them a lot. She teaches them a lot. She puts in different schemes, and they are following this game plan to perfection. It's a baseline drive again and a foul on the floor.
So they'll bring it back. Adding to that, as you see Gail Fawkes there, is the power and strength of this Davidson team. They lead it by 10 with 4:57 left.
She is not disappointed. The transfer from NC State. She's been at Davidson for a while now, but she's been able to score in a lot of ways. She's got 15 points on 5 of 9 shooting. She's 3 for 4 from behind the arc. Someone who's played in this gym before, she can taste this victory, and she's helping her team try to get there.
5 for 9, 3 rebounds as well. Sutphin with it. Under 5 minutes remaining, the lead is 10.
Big possession here for Davidson out of the timeout.
Davidson already this season with a win over Wake and a tight game against North Carolina. Duke going the other way. Okananwa. Yes. Cuts the lead to 8.
Another one of those very talented freshmen, 27th ranked player in the country, Oluchi Okananwa from Boston, goes coast to coast for Duke. Big bucket for the freshman.
Sutphin with the handoff. Pryor takes a look. They go not one, but they almost went 2 back doors. Driving to the basket. Left hand up and in. Good finish from Morgan.
Izzy Morgan finds a seam in the defense and finishes with a layup of her own. Duke's really picking up the tempo of this game.
She's got 9. Mayer needed that 3. Emsbo. She'll take the foul.
And off the rebound here, it's the freshman, Okananwa. You can see how fast she just gets out in transition, protects the ball, and lays it in for an easy 2.
A little kick. Great work by our camera operators, Christopher Dubois, Chris Metzloff, Micah Hamilton, Mark Dry, Ivan Pacheco, and Anthony Henage. Metzloff met Paulina Paris yesterday at Carmichael under the basket. One of our camera operators, Okananwa, back rim, good rebound, follows it, and an and one. Massive basket, huge.
I mean, you talk about a competitor and a will to win. She's put her team on her shoulders and is carrying them right now. It's the great move for that shot, but she tracks down her own rebound. Nobody boxes her out, and now she's going to the free throw line, trying to make this a 7-point game. Closest Duke has been in a while.
As Debbie Taylor just told you, it is a 7-point game. Something on the court, they'll move it out of there.
It gives Duke a chance to really get organized and get in their press, and this is where they really shine. Full court defense. Also gives Davidson an opportunity to attack, maybe get an open 3 or an easy layup, see if they can handle the pressure.
Final thanks to Will Black, Matt McCullough, and Jamie Carr. That's the rest of the crew. Debbie Taylor, our outstanding analyst. Dean Linke along for the ride here. It's a 7-point game. Davidson has looked solid from the opening whistle. Frankly, they looked solid at the shoot-around. 20 seconds left on the shot clock.
Big possession for the Wildcats here. Gonna run the shot clock down and use the high screen. The handoff, Sutphin fakes the handoff. She's gonna take it herself against Emsbo.
That's good defense by Emsbo. Oh my. Another second chance opportunity. How many times have we said that in the second half alone?
Offensive rebounds were big in the game the other night against Columbia. They did a nice job on the glass, but this just gives another opportunity for the clock to tick a little bit.
Little runner and off the glass again. Everything going right for Davidson.
That was great patience. And Millie Pryor with the finish. But again, quickly down the floor. Nice rebound by Emsbo. She's had a great game, Dean.
Yeah, she has. I feel like she needed to play more, quite frankly, but what do I know?
Somebody needs to do a better job stopping the ball in the backcourt. Davidson's got to get on that ball, and I don't know how easy it is to stop Jaden Donovan or Okananwa, but it's just getting down the floor too quickly, and they're just attacking the rim.
Yeah, Emsbo, 4 for 6, 3 rebounds. Just 20 minutes.
And the freshmen have kind of taken this game over. Donovan and Okananwa.
It may be too late, though. We'll see. Maybe too late. Emsbo's, nope, thought she was going to get another chance, but the free throw violation was called against Duke.
Emsbo leads all Duke scorers with 11. They're going to come off the ball here and not let it come in to Izzy Morgan. When they need someone to bring it up, who else? Ellie Sutphin. She's going to initiate the offense here.
One of the problems now late in the game is Duke is 2 for 11 from 3, and their last game against Columbia, they didn't shoot the 3 very well either.
They were 1 for 10 against Columbia. Sutphin trying that fake handoff again. She just cannot get it to go with the left. Somebody's got to stop the ball, and just an errant pass, and that's a huge mistake right there for Duke.
Mayer is going to foul Morgan. Make no mistake, at the shoot-around, Gail Folks walked over to us, as you see Coach Kara Lawson, and I feel like for the most part, she was matter-of-fact about what she thought Davidson needed to do to win this game, and I feel like they've delivered on everything she said.
Well, she knows she has a very good team, and her team has a lot of international experience. Big games, big collegiate games in the U.S. are not a really big deal to them. They're confident, they're strong, they're experienced, and now free throws down the stretch. That was the first one they missed on the night. We said they came in shooting 80%. 9 for 10 in this one for Davidson.
The lead is 9. Did not hit the rim.
I don't know if that's the quick force shot that you want right now if you're Duke. You need to shoot quickly, but you need a good shot.
Donovan spinning, and Donovan called for the foul.
Davidson fans up off their feet. And it's Rosie Deegan who steps into the lane here. Who else? She's just had a stellar night. Guarding the ball, and bam, takes the charge. Takes it right on the chest, moves her feet, gets set. Great defensive play. Donovan's going to get called for the foul on the inbound, and that'll send Ellie Sutphin to the free throw line. We said the best free throw shooter in the Atlantic 10 last season. Shot over 88%. These two free throws right here can start to put the nail in the coffin.
Yep, you feel it.
If Davidson can take care of the ball down the stretch.
Including Sutphin. 4 players in double figures. Sutphin with 16, one behind Deegan, who's got 17. Sutphin can tie her here. Dunn's got 13, Morgan's got 10. So 2 with 17 for the Wildcats.
Tremendous balance on this Davidson team. They're going to have a great season. They were picked 7th in the Atlantic 10. I think that was a huge mistake.
Okananwa, this little up and under and in.
Sutphin's just going to take her time here. Clock is Davidson's friend. Going to take the shot clock down a little bit. 3-possession game right now.
Sutphin. It's ripped out of there. Donovan. Donovan has been a force, and Donovan will earn the whistle.
Even though Ellie Sutphin didn't get that shot off, they were able to use most of the shot clock and get this game clock down under 55 seconds. But again, the speed and the transition of the freshmen, Donovan and Okananwa, how they just get that ball off the rim and go coast to coast. And Davidson has to stop the ball.
Up next for Davidson, in just a couple days, they'll be at Morgan State before they have a bunch of home games against Wofford, App State, Longwood, Dayton, High Point, and UNC Wilmington.
Hey, listen, we got to find bodies and rebounds!
Donovan was 1 for 4 from the free throw line coming into this game.
Duke will go on the road to face Stanford in 3 days. Then they'll be back on the 26th for NC Central. And then they're at Georgia and have South Carolina at home before they start ACC play at Clemson. You mentioned the nail in the coffin, missing 2 threes right there. 2 free throws, rather.
Duke with the good quick foul. But again, putting a Davidson team on the line that shoots 80% from the free throw line, I mean, that's, any coach would love to have that. Duke's going to have to foul the rest of the way on this one and try to get the ball down the floor, score quickly. We're going to get a timeout here.
Gail Folk's team, I think they're better than that 7 mark.
I think they're going to surprise a few people in the A-10. You see Coach Tammy Reese, the former Virginia grad, pick number 1. What a great job she has done with Rhode Island. St. Joe's, they've had a bunch of, they had 4 freshmen on the all-rookie team a couple of years ago, and they're juniors now. And St. Louis, Rebecca Nemerow came in as a first-year coach and won the Atlantic 10 last year. So it's a great league with great coaches, but Davidson certainly, I don't think they're going to be in 7th. I think they're going to be somewhere very close to the top.
They beat USC Upstate 86-51, first free throw off. They beat Wake Forest 57-52. They gave the Tar Heels all they could handle at Carmichael, losing only by 4. And they're 50.3 seconds away from beating Duke.
They came in with a game plan, and we watched them do shoot-around today, and Coach Folks, she talks to them a lot in shoot-around. She teaches a lot in shoot-around, and they had a plan of how they were going to defend screens and how they were going to defend the post and what switches were going to happen on what plays, and they've really made, this is the first team I've seen really make Duke's life difficult on the offensive end. And their philosophy of shoot, share, and stifle, every piece of that mantra has come to fruition tonight. And it's a shot the ball well. When you come in Cameron, you have to shoot well. They're 50% from behind the arc. They're 9 for 18, and they're shooting 42% from the floor.
It was productive talk, right? Like, you've been to shoot-arounds where it's stop, go, whatever, but they kept on moving, they kept on listening, and all eyes were on their coach. It was productive.
She knows that these kids can mentally absorb a lot, and they need to understand how they're going to play an opponent, and this game plan has been a good one. You see the continuous switching on the perimeter. Nice fake. We're going to get a foul on the floor right there by Charlie Dunn, and that's all right. Sends Kennedy Brown to the free throw line. Brown has not missed a free throw this season, and we're still staying that way.
3 points on the day for Brown.
And that's, I think Brown was a big pivotal piece of this equation. She needed to be a big presence for Duke, and credit to Millie Pryor and Rosie Deegan and all the players on Davidson who guarded her tonight and gave her a really difficult time around the rim.
Brown finally did miss a free throw, but Duke got the rebound. Not successful, though.
Davidson just needs to get this ball inbounds. They get a timeout. Yeah, right call off of Reagan Richardson. Davidson's going to get this ball back. Timeout, they'll advance it, and they just need to get it inbounds. So Coach Fultz right now just drawing up a play, get it in the hands of one of her best free throw shooters, but they're all good free throw shooters. So just get it in, hang on to it, get yourself to the free throw line. Coach Fultz telling us one of the great things about her team is they went to Spain this summer and they got that extra time together to bond, to play, to get better together, and it's clearly made a big difference in the team you've seen tonight on the court. Duke, as we said, a very young team, 7 freshmen and sophomores out of 10 players. Only 5 returners, 2 of those starters, Reagan Richardson and Kennedy Brown. One of the youngest rosters in the country, only returning 28% of their scoring. And there's a lot of teaching that goes into young teams, and your defense is still growing, you're learning systems, you're laying a foundation. And the goal here is to just keep growing and improving, and Davidson's got to get the ball in. Over the top there to Sutphin for the lay-in, and she gets fouled. Thought they were going to get a 5-second call there, but it's a nice back cut by Sutphin. Cleared out the backside. You see everybody denies, and Sutphin steps up, and then she goes backdoor. And it's just the overplay there, giving her a little bit of room. Ashlyn Jackson just gets beat. Sutphin knocking down another free throw.
Big time performance. 18 points.
6 for 6 from the free throw line, 3 for 4 from behind the arc. And it looks like Davidson is going to walk out of here with one of the biggest wins in Coach Gail Fultz' 7-year tenure, and a feather in their cap at the start of the season to show that they are a force to be reckoned with.
A force to be reckoned with, indeed. Sunday, Duke will take on number 6 Stanford, 3 Eastern time on ABC.
And Davidson's a small school, less than 2,000 undergrads right outside of Charlotte. Great academic school. These are true student athletes just like the Duke players are. Inside to Emsbo. Nice play call out of the timeout. Emsbo gets down low. She's really played well, and if we can expect this from her the rest of the season, it's going to be a nice piece of the puzzle for Duke. She's got 11 points right now, 3 rebounds.
Real quickly, Debbie, as she shoots this, knowing Duke's got Stanford after a rare loss at home and only the 3rd non-con loss for Kara Lawson, how do they reset, go all the way out to California and play the number 6 team in the country?
Every game is a learning experience. When your team's this young, you just have to keep teaching, and you have to stay positive, and you have to go back, watch the film, and explain the good and the bad and the ugly, and move on to the next opponent. And this is going to be the best opponent they've played this season on their home court in Palo Alto. It's going to be a tough task. But non-conference play, especially with a team full of freshmen, is about learning. You know, it's hard for freshmen to be consistent. And then, you know, Coach Lawson, you know, what she does demand of her freshmen is consistent effort, but it's very hard to see freshmen play consistently every night, especially on the road. So that Stanford game is going to be a really big test for them. 28
seconds remaining. Davidson trying to do something they have not done in a long, long time. That is knock off not one but two ACC teams in the same season.
Charlie Dunn, number 21, the sophomore. What a wonderful addition she has been, transferring in from Virginia Tech. He said she was ranked the 9th best international player in the 2022 class. She is a great signee for Davidson, and she and Ellie Sutphin together on the same court cause major matchup problems for defenses.
Katie Donovan, freshman, another one from Australia, coming into the game. So Sunday on ABC out in Northern California. We'll be back here with you for the game against Central, and then they'll head into SEC territory to take on Georgia and then South Carolina.
Doesn't get much easier. You go down to Georgia and you can play Coach Abe in her matchup zone, and that's a lot of preparation for that game. Try to run that again and post up Emsbo. Nice job pushing her off the block by Charlie Dunn, getting her out of scoring range. Now Dunn's going to go to the free throw line, and the Davidson players are starting to feel it. The bench is on their feet.
Big smiles.
You know, most people, we said they come into Cameron and we've watched these games and we've watched the jitters and we've seen, and Davidson just came in and started firing on all cylinders, came in with confidence, came in knowing they could win this game. This is a big, big win for their program.
Dunn came into the game leading the team with 16.7 points per game and 6.7 rebounds.
Your leading scorer and rebounder comes off the bench. I mean, that's a nice bonus, huh?
Yeah. And she's got 15, just under her average. Sutphin leads all players with 19. Okananwa and Emsbo had 11 for Duke. Okananwa will have a chance to add to it.
Okananwa, again, just coast to coast by herself. Every minute for these freshmen right now is just invaluable, and I like that Coach Lawson has left them out there. And I will say, between Donovan and Okananwa, the energy and the fight they brought to the court tonight, it just bodes really well for the future of Duke basketball. They both have such high motors and just so much incredible versatility and athletic ability. They're just going to keep getting better.
Okananwa had 22 in her first ever game against Richmond. Another timeout here as Davidson, they'll stay on the road to head to Morgan State, but then they've got a ton of home games. And I'll tell you what, if women's basketball fans in the Davidson area are paying attention, they're going to show up because this team is legit.
They've got a nice home following. Belk Arena is not that big, so they're able to kind of fill it up. And you can see they're a really fun team to watch with the way they share the ball and their motion offense. And you know, they're just a really solid defensive team right now, holding Duke to under 37%. It's a great defensive effort. Great effort on both sides of the ball for Davidson. They shot so incredibly well from behind the arc. Those 9 threes, 50% shooting were a big difference maker in this game.
Mayer was hoping that she deflected that off of Haynes.
Great denial by Mayer. Davidson will do a little reset. And you have to imagine if they're able to get this in and go to the free throw line, that might be about it. Officials are going to the monitor on this one with under 18 seconds to play. teams are going to go over to their benches, talk to their coaches. Oh, now we're back in action.
.5 seconds remaining. The Davidson Wildcats. Jackson trying to knock that off Sutphin.
Great denial again. Oh, and out of bounds. Forcing the turnover. Blue Devils aren't going away yet. I like that. Play until the last whistle blows.
Got to pop a three. Nope, going to drive to the basket. And one, same difference. Mayer.
It's not over till it's over, ladies and gentlemen. And Mayer, another one quick off the dribble, picks it up, attacks Deegan. Kisses it off the glass. If you're gonna let her get to the rim, if you're gonna foul her. Make sure she doesn't make the bucket. Don't give her the three-point play. And another free throw line violation. No timeouts left for Coach Folks. Davidson's got to inbound the ball here, and Duke's going to make it difficult.
Good
Rosie
hustle.
Deegan able to get it in.
Yeah, Okananwa almost had it. Now a foul.
Duke's not making it easy these last couple seconds.
No, but Davidson's going to do it. How about front-loading your schedule with 3 ACC teams?
She said she knew she had a good team, and she wanted to test them, and they have certainly, looks like to me, Dean, passed the test with flying colors.
Incredible.
Rosie Deegan, 18 points, 4 rebounds, 38 minutes. Both she and Ellie Sutphin have played in this game. Unable to convert the last 2 free throws, though. These opportunities are going away for Davidson. Nice kick out.
3 in the corner, in and out, rebound up and in, Okananwa. But Davidson has done it. 69-62. The hands